What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It's a warm one here in Findlay, Ohio, and I'm hanging out in the beer shed getting ready to check out a new beer. Now, the beer I have today is called Airport Lounge, and this was given to me by my boy, John Anderson, aka the Ginger Yeti. So check out his channel, Ginger Yeti Road Beers. Now, I find this one to be a little bit, I don't know, maybe interesting after what happened to my poor boy, the Yeti, last week. He was returning from Europe. He was on tour with Whitechapel, I believe, and he got stranded in the Newark airport for something like 40, I think it took him 48 hours to get from Newark, New Jersey back to Cleveland. He was stuck in the airport overnight for an extended period because he kept canceling all the flights back to Ohio. Now, what I thought was interesting is this says Airport Lounge, and the can art shows all the people sitting there in the hell that is an airport lounge. But, I was talking to the Yeti, and he travels a lot for work, so he has a credit card that I guess grants him access to all of the lounges at these different airports all over the world. So that means he gets free food, free beer, and basically better accommodations, probably nicer bathrooms than the rest of us commoners would be dealing with. And I was saying to him, like, hey man, you're stuck, how's it going? And he was telling me, not too bad. He was able to have a couple meals and some free beers. And, excuse me, I'm burping from that other beer. And was basically just hanging out, so he was living a better life than most of us who'd be sitting at the airport. And he gave me this a couple weeks back, and I thought, super fitting beer to do. I'm going to try to release it today so he'll get a good laugh out of it. And this one here is from Dank House Brewing, and they're out of Newark, Ohio, which I think is awful funny since he was stuck in Newark, New Jersey, right? So it seems like a perfect time to do this. Dank House, I think they're starting to win awards. They do really well. I don't see them a heck of a lot on my side of the state. Every once in a while I'll see a Dank House beer out here, but their distribution must not be that much in the northwest of Ohio where I live. But thrilled to be able to give it a shot. This says it's a Imperial or Double IPA. What do we have on the can here? Airport Lounge, Double Imperial Pale Ale. It tells us the hops that they used. So it says Citra, Manteca, and HBC 630, which sounds like a House bill or some kind of piece of legislation. I'm familiar with Citra and Manteca hops. HBC 630 I wasn't, so I looked that one up. And it said basically that has notes of berry, raspberry, cherry, peach, and banana, which kind of just blows my mind. Like, I get they're all generally fruity, but how can something taste like a berry? I get berry, raspberry, cherry, but peach and banana are very distinct flavors. Peach, banana, and cherry, not even in the same ballpark. But apparently this hop, I don't know, maybe it's how you use it or what you do with it, can give off any of those notes. So just fruit salad, yummy, yummy. Canned and brewed at Dank House Brewing Company in Newark, Ohio. Government warning, nothing else really interesting there. I'm using my Encore Brewing glass. These guys are out of Swanton, Ohio. I don't remember if I picked this up at the flea market or I got it when I was there. I've actually been to this place, but I don't remember if I got the glass there or I might have got it over at the Antique Mark over here where I got a lot of my glasses. Ooh, that thing looks interesting coming out the can there, man. I'll go right in for the nose. And the nose is fruity. Again, I'm not the biggest hophead. I'm trying to drink more IPAs, expand my palate, and drink stuff that I don't necessarily like, or as my boy Brew Watts would say, try something different. I can't just drink beer styles I like, so I'm trying to expand a bit. When I think about hops, I go in one of two directions. They're either more piney or more fruity. This is definitely on the more fruity side. And like I said, it's got Citra, Manteca, and HBC 630. So, smells more like citrusy fruit, maybe like grapefruit or lemony or like a citrus fruit kind of nose to me than those other things. I don't know that I'm getting like peach or any of those other types of flavors or scents on the nose. Smells good though. I mean, it doesn't smell like over-the-top hops or I want nothing to do with it. As to color, this thing is almost like milky looking. It's maybe like a 5 because it's kind of like a straw color, but there's definitely a nice orange hue to it. It's opaque. You can't see a damn thing through this. And the head is lingering there. I had a good finger or more's worth. Nice white frothy head. Sometimes the color is a little bit hard to gauge with the natural sunlight coming in these soft boxes here. Sometimes it's a little bit tougher, but yeah, smells and looks good. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. Body on this, I would say higher end of medium. It's got a nice body to it. The body is also creamy and silky smooth, which I quite like. It almost has that, like, you know when you get a beer with oats in it, it has that, like, that creamy texture. A very similar texture to this. I wonder if one of these hops has a similar kind of effect when you brew the beer. I don't really see anything else. 8.5% ABV, but I don't see anything else as far as, other ingredients other than the hops that are listed. Tastes good. As to the flavors, you got a couple of different things going on there. And again, I don't pretend to be the most refined palate when it comes to IPAs or anything else, to be fair. I'm just a dude doing beer reviews in a shed, right? If you want to see professionals, go see those guys that have done their fancy classes and all that, and they'll probably have a much hotter take on it than I will. But as far as fruit flavors, I think you definitely get some bitter fruits, which is probably more in line with maybe like a grapefruit kind of taste. You probably get some citrus, which I'm associating more with lemon than orange. And then you do get some of those sweeter berry tastes, and I'm guessing that's the HBC 630 they mentioned. It says berry, raspberry, cherry, peach, banana. Banana, no, I'm not getting any banana whatsoever. I could say you might get like a peachy kind of taste, and you probably get like a slight berry kind of taste. But if you can get a little bit of bitterness from like kind of the grapefruit bit, plus the sweeter fruits, maybe like the more berry and peach thing, it rounds out rather nicely because you kind of get that play between the sweet and the bitterness, has a decent body to it, nice feel to it. Solid beer. Again, not generally something that I would gravitate to. And I think this has been sitting in the fridge for a couple weeks. Let's see the date here. 6/25/24. So today's about, what's today? August 20 something. So this is roughly 2 months old, roughly, which isn't too bad. So I like to drink IPAs within 90 days or so. After that, sometimes they get a bit funky. So I'm good with the date. Flavors are coming through, solid beer. For 8.5%, I also don't think you really pick up the ABV at all. It's kind of strange because you get kind of like that, the grapefruit kind of bitterness, the sweetness of the berries and the peach kind of meld together. And if there was any kind of residual taste from the ABV, like a burn or anything like that, it's completely hidden. You don't pick it up whatsoever. The other crazy thing is this is kind of like fruitier and smooth because it has that like silky, creamy kind of body. You could probably get in trouble if you started drinking these. Now, I heard the Yeti had so many complimentary beers in the Newark airport that he actually fell asleep in a corner. So I was asking him, are you going to go get a hotel for a night? What are you going to do? And he said, no, I'm going to hang out here. But I think eventually they kick you out of the bougie lounges, and you had to just go sleep with the commoners. I think he said there was some cots there, but I don't think anybody wants to sleep in the airport cots. I remember running into a situation like that when I was stuck in Frankfurt for an extended period, Frankfurt, Germany. And they had a little area with all these beds that you could go sit in or relax in. And it looked like, I don't know, man, it looked like a prisoner of war camp or something. I didn't want nothing to do with it. It did not look like a good place to be. It was swamped with people that looked like they were living there instead of resting there. And I don't know about you all. Generally, if there's something like that, I go find a quiet corner where there's an electrical outlet so I can charge my phone, maybe watch a movie on the iPad, and just try to catch some rest in a corner before I got to board a long flight to somewhere else. So Yeti, man, my brother, thanks for the beer. Sorry you had to go through such hell in Newark, New Jersey. But it is kind of, I don't know, strange that I got the airport lounge one you gave me, made in Newark, Ohio. Solid beer. I would give it a big thumbs up. Again, not a style I would generally buy myself, but I'm thrilled Yeti gave it to me because I like it. And sometimes you got to challenge yourself. Get out of your comfort zone. Stop drinking all the beers you're used to. And for those of you who may be new to craft beer, same thing, man. I mean, I'll tell you this. I started drinking better beers a long time ago, but it was a long road. Initially, you try beers and you don't really like them. And then as your flavor and your palate adapts, you try different things. I know there's people, first time you drink a sour beer or a smoked beer or maybe a different type of IPA, people are like, what the heck is this? Give it some time. Give it a try. You might like it. And if you don't, that's okay too. You're allowed to throw them out. You're allowed to not like a style. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think you do start to enjoy these things more as you expand into the different offerings that are out there in craft beer. And the one beautiful thing is there's so many different styles of beer. There's something for you, for sure. Regardless of what your flavor profile is like, your palate, regardless of where you're from, you'll find something you like eventually. So big thumbs up for Airport Lounge. Hope you liked the video. Give me a thumbs up, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, you got any comments or questions, jump in down below. Have you had this? If so, let me know what you think about it, or what other kind of double IPAs should I be looking for? Also, have you ever been stuck at an airport for an extended period of time like the poor Yeti was? And if so, did you have the bougie little access card so you could get into the fancy lounge with all the nice free beers and free food? Gotta be better than eating dried pretzels and Cokes out of the machine, right? Hey, till next time. Cheers.